April 18th, the Biden administration announced that the Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and onboard aircraft.
Finally!
Effective immediately, masks are optional for all airport employees, crew members, and customers inside U.S. airports and onboard aircraft.
Masks will be optional this evening for all crew and passengers as well. So it is cause to celebrate, but
No mask?
yes!
That mask mandate is gone. Masks are no longer required in airplanes.
Here's a question I ask myself in all earnestness about 5 times a year. Is there anything airlines can do right? From reaping billions of dollars in benefits during the pandemic when travel was at a standstill, to smaller issues like constant overbooking, charging to bring carry-ons, and terrible customer service, there's something deeply wrong with the way American aviation companies run. And all of that doesn't even get into what a nightmare their COVID policies have been from start to now. The nation is up in arms over recent mask policies shifting on airplanes after a federal judge struck down the federal mandate requiring masks on planes and other public transportation. Delta has made face mask wearing on its planes optional. And instead of just coming out and saying people get offended by masks and we don't want to lose their business, so they're no longer mandatory, they came out and said that COVID is just a, quote, seasonal virus now. Despite how serious or not you are taking COVID still, it is objectively, decidedly, not seasonal. After their initial statement saying that COVID-19 has transitioned to this seasonal virus, they quickly revised their wording to, quote, a more manageable respiratory virus, but the damage is done. With all of the PR nightmares airlines have had in the past few years, you'd think they were paying someone big bucks to preempt these types of absurd statements. Because the sad truth about masking in the US is that due to faulty messaging from the beginning, masks have become irreconcilably a symbol of political difference rather than a simple health measure. And don't forget that it didn't have to be this way. The government could have sent US families masks initially so that they didn't have to lie back in March of 2020 saying that they were unnecessary. That political shift in messaging had dire implications for how Americans began to look at masking as an unclear ideological symbol rather than a totally neutral safety measure. And of course, Donald Trump constantly refusing to wear a mask sent this spiraling out of control. And so here we are. 2 years later, cases rising and companies giving up. It's no surprise that Delta and other airlines are only worried about their bottom lines, but gaffes like this prove that they never cared about you or your experience, and worse, the health and safety of their employees. Instead of sending a message and trying to dispel partisan beliefs, Delta could have taken a stand, but instead revealed their whole money and power-hungry hand. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.